Take this baby for a ride. See what she does. Alright, what we have right now is 2 flats to the left and to the right, and I see a ball of bait at 30. So I'm gonna flip the camera around and pull out the sneaky Demiki. But the boat ride pretty good so far. Hit a few heavy waves. It didn't bounce as hard as the Nitro did, or smack like the Nitro. I'm gonna start off with a 1/8 head and a, well, both 1/8 head. Well, nope, 1/8 head and a quarter. The quarter is a screw lock, and I'm gonna put a mooch minnow on the quarter head. It has a longer shank as well. I couldn't tell you how many times this screw locked and caused me to save so many bait catching fish, and then being able to reuse the same bait over and over versus bait that I'm just pulling up on the bar, pulling up on the keeper. It comes off and you gotta get super glue to glue it back down, and it tears up. So I got a quarter head on that one with a loop knot, gizzard shad, and then on that 1/8 ounce I have a Yamamoto shad shaped worm I'm gonna put on there. It's awesome bait, and the hook is real short, and I used to think that I needed a longer shank hook to catch these fish, but it ain't the case. These little bitty hooks be hooking them perfect. I mean, absolutely perfect. So let's get up here and see if we can put our first Z521 hard fish in the boat. Alright guys, you with me? Here we go. Had to give you a new battery. So far, still ain't catch no fish. Again, it's cloudy out here. It looks good up here on the bank on these points. May have to pick up a buzz bait to see what's going on up in that shallow grass. I got some thump gel here, bait pop, whatever you want to call it, silver metallic, matching the bait. I'm gonna try to catch some of these ones in the school pod first, and then if not, I'm gonna throw the big old glide bait up here on these banks. I got some brush marked up here too that I'm gonna try to work on, but I think we should be able to catch one here in a couple minutes, couple seconds. Trying to make sure I got a good view for y'all. Got a boat just pulled up behind me. Yeah, I think I come across a good brush pile right here. Got one right there on it. He ran back. One coming down on it. They at 60 feet. Might need to change bait. This bait that I got on there is not a confident bait. Well, color. Not a confident color that I'm familiar with. I just got it, put it on there because it was in the pack of some baits that I had left over inside of some baits fuel stuff that Gussie, Z-Man Gussie Minnow, some stuff I had poured off in there. So some bait attraction on this bait, so I just fished with it while I had it out. But I'm 40 feet from that brush pile now. I don't see nothing really on it. Oh, nigga wanna come off the bottom. That looks small though. Yeah, they small. Maybe even crappie. There go one. It's a bass. That's that little bait hook I was telling you about. The hooks them pretty good. Catching them on a 6.6 light action spinning rod. 8-pound test like a spotted bass. Get them up here in a second. Nice little spotted bass. Here we go. First Ranger 521R bass. That's that little hook I was telling you about. Right in the top of the mouth and pegged pretty good. So don't think that you got to have a big long shank hook in order to catch a fish. That's him. And the only thing I don't like about these hook keepers, like I say, you gotta have some super glue when you're dealing with them. Because if not, you know, one fish per bait. And we know how expensive baits are. So we'll see if we can try to catch another one with this same bait. But yeah, that's me scoping brush pile and caught that fish off the brush pile. 12 foot of water. Again, I just don't like this trolling mode. I'm gonna have to go ahead and get that quest put on. I don't like the responsiveness. Ooh, bait gone. I don't like how that trolling motor reacts to the input. It's an electric trolling motor. I did put some thump gel on that last one. That last fish we caught did have thump gel on there. So I wonder if that thump gel gonna be the thing for the day. Right now I'm just chasing that fish right there around. Look like it's on some bait. There's two of them right there. Bait falling dead on one. I got that eighth ounce weight right now. It ain't chasing. He big though. I'm gonna let it drop to the bottom, see if he pick it up. He went down with it. Let's see if he picks it up. If he picks it up off the bottom. He didn't. Nope. Alright, let's see if we can find another brush pile. Probably need to put some bait fuel. I mean some, what I call it, thump gel. Probably need to put some thump gel on this one. Alright, I'm at 55. Fishing 20 foot deep. Fish I just saw went to the bottom. There's a couple fish on that brush again. Brush pile at 40 feet now. Cast at 45. Letting it drop to the bottom. In the brush. Come on. Pop loose. One got it. Probably a crappie. One caught a bass. One hit it when it popped loose out of that brush. Threw my bait. Oh, yep, there you go. Threw my bait. One thing about these small hooks too, they like to bend out a little bit. But you can buy them. You can buy these small jig head hooks like this. 25 packs for like $5. They just crappie jig heads. And I've caught many bass while fishing for crappie. So I'm a firm believer that they work. About 80 yards on the other side of this drop off. It's about 5 or 6 of them. Largemouth. I'm a Bill Jones. I'll be taking on some water somewhere. Ooh, hook came out as soon as I pulled on it. Here we go. Largie on a small hook. Yeah, I don't think me and this trolling motor gonna get along. Man, throwing my bait still. Here we go. Small spot. Saw him sitting inside of a little crease that had a lay down running off the top of it. Swam to past that lay down. Might need to put a boot tail on. Cover some water and still be able to be effective. If they chasing like that, chasing and swimming, 15 foot of water is where you come out of. Alright, so far it feels like a doable fishing platform. Better than the skeeter. That's why I got rid of the skeeter. I was fighting the wind and the waves more than I was fighting the fish. Did he hit that on the drop? Oh, I thought he had that in here now. I was fighting the boat more than I was fighting the fish. So I knew that wasn't gonna work. I was more fatigued from fishing, trying to stay on my spot than I was from reeling in bad. So I know I had to get rid of him. And we did, and we got this Ranger. And so far, I like it. Tons, ride is about the same. Good ride. Skeeter had a good platform, good boat. Skeeter builds a good boat. I was coming out of a nitro when I got my Skeeter, and a hell of a lot different. And ride on the big water than the competitor boat. I got one right on it. He didn't want to hit it. Bigger water. It's a bigger water. It was a big water. It's a big water boat. Skeeter's a big water boat. One thing that I didn't like, of course, everybody knows the sponsons that cause the waves to rush back on the back deck when you setting the boat down. You gotta goose it a little bit to keep the water from rushing up the back. But besides that, riding the boat, that was the only negative I had with it. Like I said, awesome. Trailers was awesome. Best trailer that I didn't pull. Boat built with some of the high dollar in equipment. Man, I can say 100 good things about a Skeeter boat and how it was, big difference than that nitro I had. But I just couldn't fish off the top of it. I just couldn't fish it was unbalanced to me. Wobble real hard. The wind catch it, and it's taking the boat across the lake. I gotta continue to stay on the trolling mode and fight harder than I've fought in anything that I've been in. But then went and test drove a Phoenix. My buddy was nice enough to let me test drive his, because I told him I was searching for a new boat and wanted to check a few boats out that I had in mind before I squared the trigger. And he let me get in his boat. Boat rode good. Boat was awesome. But I think I know Phoenix. That's, most of the loyal Phoenix people say that they build them with low quality stuff that's cheaper and easy to get if you need to get it from somewhere. And I felt for $70,000, $80,000 boat, I'm looking for more than that excuse to cheap out on stuff. So ended up jumping in the Ranger. Jumped in the Ranger twice, actually, and said, you know, that boat rides pretty good. Got the chance to fish off the front deck of a couple. Got buddies that got them, and, you know, nice enough to take me out fishing and asked me to jump in a boat and help them with electronics and stuff like that. And I did. It just had one school up there. You go. Had one pop behind me, and I heard him and hit it and cast over there. But it was nice enough to let me jump in a boat to fish with them and stuff like that. And, you know, I kind of knew that that boat was one of the ones that I would be getting if I was in the, you know, buy a boat again business. And I found myself in the buy a boat again business again, and ended up with this Z5 20R, 21R. Nice fish. And so far I like it. So far I love it. Haven't fished a tournament out of it yet. And still getting the hang of the boat itself, as far as the big engine. Still you know, filling it out. But as far as fishing off the front of it, you know, wide deck. Deck is huge. Bunch of storage. Storage is almost like the Nitro was. There's plenty of storage, and it was laid out like I like it.